Welcome to S-Class, the highest tier in podcasting. With me is an enemy stand user with the ability to gaslight you into defeating yourself. It's Robert.
Are you approaching me, Justin?
Rob, what's your stand name?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna be Mamma Mia. I'm gonna be Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. That's very good. And I'm your host. Rob, what's my stand power?
You have the ability to arrive exactly 25 minutes after you were supposed
You've
to.
used this power
Or every
before on
affair.
a different question.
Have I really?
I think we had a question that was, what would each other's quirks be? And it was like, your ability is to arrive 15 minutes late no matter what.
Well, now it's 25.
Well, it's 25. It's evolved. Level 2. I'm your host, Justin.
There it is.
Robert, the reason we're doing stands today is because after, an 8-year-long wait, I have finally finished Jojo Part 4.
Oh my god, are you serious? Why? I mean, I love JoJo Part 4. I just can't believe you finally did it.
So, for context for those listening, Jojo Part 4, to the first half, I was like, this is really slow. I don't hate this, but nothing's happening. Midpoint, one of the greatest battles in all of Jojo that I've seen against Kira, where Jotaro gets beaten and then Koichi's stand evolves. Like, it was fucking nuts. And then at the very last second, Kira runs away and changes his identity and gets away. And now we're on the hunt.
He becomes blonde.
He becomes blonde. No, he goes from blonde and becomes
that's what it is.
black
Right.
hair. He goes. He's no longer blonde. The preceding episodes are abysmal. They are so bad that after 2 episodes, I was halted in my tracks.
For 8 years.
For 8 years, the Janken Kid and then the Alien. And then you and our friend John said, hey, it's not that bad. After the Alien, it gets better. It does not. It does not.
You didn't like Highway Star?
Which one's Highway Star?
The motorcycle that won't stop.
That's not in this one, I don't think. Oh, yes, I did. Highway Star was okay.
It is?
Highway Star's okay. The ones that were terrible. The fucking cat flower, which is a major plot point because it's in the very last episode even, as one of the main enemies, as well as this one's the worst, the guy in the fucking tower who shits on his garden to fertilize it and can't leave the tower.
What was the stand's name?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. It was not good. There was so little good content in that last. I didn't realize it. I was only 10 episodes away from finishing the series, and it took me this long to finish it.
Wasn't the final fight great, though?
It wasn't even that good.
What?
I can't tell if you're joking or not. It's not even half as good as the midpoint fight.
Just for the scene with Kira talking about the Mona Lisa.
The Mona Lisa and him licking the nurse's hand or the EMT's hand. The actual fight itself is very mediocre.
What? This is outrageous. JoJo Part 4 is probably my, I would say, favorite part, honestly.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, what would you say?
You're fucking kidding me.
Are you kidding me?
Part two, and then part 3.
Second half of part 3 might be my favorite.
Second half of part 3 is fantastic, but I think it gets taxed with all the fucking car. Anything involving a motor vehicle just pisses me off in JoJo.
Wait, so you finished it and you hated it after 8 years?
I didn't hate it. I was just very disappointed because I was like, that midpoint fight was so good. It was like a top 3 fight for me in all of JoJo that I've seen so far, and I was expecting even better because this is the climax, and it wasn't nearly as good as the midpoint fight.
That is a major bummer.
There are just so many plot holes, like not plot holes, but just stupid things that just help move the plot along. Where like the arrow suddenly giving
the
cat
arrow
magic a new stand power. Everything involving the dad, Kira's dad's the fucking worst. Even, I'm nitpicking here, but in the final fight, Kira's dad being inside the little kid's pocket and telling him Josuke's directions while he's in the pocket makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's all so dumb, but it's not dumb enough to be ridiculously funny like part 3.
It just works, Justin. That's JoJo.
Is that fair?
It just works.
Is that a fair assessment?
It is when it comes to JoJo, because it is established that the most important power of a stand is that it just works.
That's later on. I haven't gotten there yet. That's my review of JoJo Part 4, second half.
Yeesh. Brutal.
Rob, let's talk about something decent, maybe. Tell me about Solanin.
Oh, it was really good. Have you heard of Solanin? It's one
Is
of,
that the one with
like,
the little girl with the bandana on?
correct. Yeah, it's not a little girl.
Okay.
She's like 25.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it's the same author as Goodnight Poon Poon, which
Oh.
I did not read, but it's very highly regarded. I guess you would call it a one volume story because it all fits into one, little self-contained thing. It is about a group of, I guess, mid-20s losers that like don't know what
Mhm.
they're doing with their lives, and they're just kind of like surviving through the days. They're trying to like relive their college glory days as a rock band, and their dream is still to rock and all of that. It's
Mm.
very relatable to that like time frame in life where you're just like struggling to find yourself and understand what it is you are and who you're going to be, and not wanting to do the things that everybody wants you to do. And it makes you kind of anxious as you're reading through it because like it's just that constant like struggle and slight depression that you don't even realize you have. But it was also just it was
Right.
really good. I really enjoyed it.
I think I'm still in the Solanin phase of my life.
I don't think you ever really truly leave.
That's cool. How did you happen upon that?
I don't know. I mean, I always pivot from like wanting to find like a long running series and then just wanting to find a nice like self-contained one shot that I can read through. And right now I'm in a phase like where I don't have a lot of time to read things with the baby, so I'm big on the one shots right now. So
Mm.
I just was doing some research on highly regarded one shots. I already have a few, and this one kept coming up. And it wasn't normally something that I would pursue, but I figured at this point, you know what, I'll give it a go. And it was good. I loved it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That sounds good. Robert, I read Dandadan, something that you probably
Dandadan.
won't read. Dandadan.
I've read a few chapters of Dandadan, actually.
Okay, because I was going to say our friend keeps recommending it to us. So, out of spite, I feel like you wouldn't read it.
Yeah, I didn't love it, what I did read, and I will not continue to read it.
It is about, well, you know this, but it's about a girl who says that yokai are real and a boy who believes in cryptozoology, like Nessie and those types of animals. And they both think that, oh no, he believes in cryptozoology and UFOs. And they both say that each other's full of shit. And then they decide to switch places and say, okay, I'll go to a secret UFO landing spot and I'll go to a haunted yokai spot and prove to you that they're both fake, or will prove to each other that they're fake. But they both end up being real.
And they both end up losing their clothing for some reason.
They lose a lot of clothing, and the little boy loses his nuts and maybe
Yep.
his dick too at some point. Yeah. It's pretty outrageous. It's I would say it's like a PG-13 version of Gantz is the best way I can describe it. Like a little bit off-putting. Like the art is really well drawn, but it's also kind of scary the way they draw the faces on these aliens, and some of these yokai are very like creepy. They come out of the shadows and you're like, holy shit. I like it. I want to like it more.
I'm just tired of like all of that, where they do like the creepy, massive monsters with 1,000 eyes and like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just so over it in manga, and it feels like Shonen Jump has just unloaded on that type of creature recently, and it does nothing for me anymore.
Yeah. It's like when Chainsaw Man came out, that was new and kind of
Right,
fresh. I know you're not a Chainsaw Man guy, but
but
it
I
felt
respect
fresh.
that. Yes.
And then now everyone's like, oh, look at the success of Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. Let's quadruple down on it. I think it's got a little bit of a different feel. I think the thing that it's really lacking is like, I like the relationship between the main boy and the main girl. They kind of have like a real romantic tension, which is fun. But the actual fights with the enemies are always lacking a little bit. I'm 60 chapters in, there's like 120 or something out. So I'm going to keep going, but it's not like it's an enjoyable read, but I'm not like itching to read it
Yeah.
every time I get the chance.
Yeah. I finished the first chapter and I didn't continue going, so that shows you how I felt.
Yeah, and I wouldn't push you to read it either at this point. It's I'm gonna keep trudging along and see how I feel. Robert, you watched the entirety of the One Piece live action. What'd you think?
Against my incredibly low expectations, I thought it was fantastic. Honestly, I loved it. I thought it was a blast. It was it was just a ton of fun, and it didn't take itself too seriously. It didn't lean into too many like stupid, obnoxious Hollywood tropes. It respected the source material, but it also like did its own thing. And told the story in its own way and adapted it for television because, quite frankly, a lot of that stuff just doesn't work for, a live action series. And
Sure.
it did it well, honestly. It was fun. It was good. I can't wait for more. I'm shocked to say that. I'm so shocked that I enjoyed it as much as I did. And it almost like, we've been kind of down on One Piece for most of this channel's existence, but kind of like rejuvenated my love of One Piece. I think part of
Really?
that is just going back to East Blue, and East Blue is it just has so much heart because it is just like sailing around from island to island, like gathering up a crew, and it just has that quicker pace. Whereas now in One Piece, we're spending 2 or 3 years on one island doing nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It really made me feel good.
Okay, I am only 30 minutes into the first episode and I liked it. I like how it's kind of got a darker tone, like people are actually dying and they feel like pirates, not like these goofy cartoon
Yeah.
characters. I think Luffy's actor, and again, I don't know if it's his fault or if it's the writing's fault. I think he's still a little bit cringy, but I'm 30 minutes in, so maybe it gets better over the next few episodes.
I wouldn't say it gets worse for sure. I think he comes off early on as cringy, and that doesn't really change, but it just feels so genuine as it goes along that like you almost like enjoy how cringy he is because everybody else is like a little more serious and he just has like that Luffy heart. And even though he doesn't like feel like Luffy, he does in a way. Like a lot of the mannerisms don't necessarily match Luffy, but it's that like genuine enthusiasm that you really feel the actor is nailing. And you know, it's hard because he does have like an accent, and it I think sometimes his words feel a little jumbled, but
Yeah.
it never really bothered me, honestly.
I think this is like his second acting role in English ever or something ridiculous. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I can definitely feel he seems like a good kid. Seems like he has a lot of heart. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I think I'll watch a few more episodes and see if I can get to the end of it. And hopefully I'll enjoy it. I hope I get on your level with it.
Yeah, me and John both really enjoyed it, honestly. And some of the casting is like spot on insane. Like Zeph is utter perfection.
Some of the characters look fantastic. I am just stuck in the Kobe like under the ship right now. Like I think I just got past that. And Kobe's just the fucking worst, but Kobe just sucks ass in One Piece in general. So
Right. I,
it's
I
not
hate
the
Kobe as a
fault of the
character.
series.
And like this came out kind of shortly after Kobe really pissed me off in the manga. So like I was not in the mood for anything to do with Kobe.
I was literally reading or catching up on the manga, and Kobe just got captured, I think, but he hasn't done anything terrible yet. So I guess I'm going to see that in a few chapters.
Yeah. I don't know. Kobe just pisses me off. But the live action was really enjoyable.
Okay, I'll keep watching. All right, Rob. To wrap up our manga and anime, I've been watching a bunch of weird stuff. So we had Jojo, and then we had Dandadan. And to wrap up our weirdness, I read 130 chapters of Terraformars.
Isn't that from like the 90s? Not the 90s, but isn't that like a kids thing from like way back when?
It
Or
is
what am I thinking
definitely
of?
not for kids. I don't know. Maybe Transformers is what you're thinking of, but
No, I know I'm
Terra
not thinking of Transformers.
Terraformars. I keep saying it awkwardly because it's
Isn't it
Terraformers, or
Terraformers?
yeah, it's kind of a play on words because it's about them trying to colonize Mars. So like Terra, like Earth, for Mars. But they basically
Oh.
we're in the distant future. The world is overpopulated. They need to find a new planet to populate, and they like let's go to Mars. So what they do is Mars is too cold, so they send this rocket full of black algae and cockroaches to make the planet darker so that there's more sun hitting the planet because black attracts heat because that's how science works.
That's interesting
And then,
logic.
yeah, I was like, that sounds pretty cool, even if it probably isn't possible. But anyway, the cockroaches will eat the algae and then they'll grow and then the algae will keep growing. So the whole planet will get warmer. And then in a few hundred years, we can go populate Mars. So they go send a crew of like 10 really good astronauts over there to check out the progress. And they go there and they meet these creatures that are like 7 foot buff ass cockroach humans. And those cockroach humans kill everyone except for one guy.
Why do they save him? Do they want to be like boys with him?
No, he just escapes. They just hate humans. And I think it's really funny because the logic is like how humans just instinctively hate cockroaches. They just instinctively just hate humans.
What am I thinking of? What is like? Isn't there a series that you watched as a kid that has a similar sounding name to this?
I can't think of one.
Name anime you watched as a kid that I would be thinking of.
Flint the Time Detective, Metabots, Ubix,
It's not like a similar plot. It's like I think there was a video game for it. Maybe is that what I'm thinking of?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mar, uh, Naruto,
No,
Jackie
no,
Chan Adventures. Might have been Jackie
no.
Chan Adventures.
It's not Jackie Chan Adventures, even though that is a great, great anime.
You tell me when you figure it out, like 2 weeks from now, and then we'll post it in the comments. Anyway, so they decide that they have to go conquer Mars now that is full of these giant buff ass cockroach humans, and they start injecting humans with this like DNA of other animals that lets them compete against these cockroach humans. In the beginning, it's like fascinating. It's like he has the power of a mantis shrimp, so he can punch really good, and he has the power to fly like a hawk or whatever. And people are dying left and right. Halfway through, it just gets totally ridiculous, but in a bad way, in the sense that no one dies. Everyone has ridiculous amounts of plot armor, and these cockroach humans go from being like primitive cave people to like knowing how to fly spaceships. And it's been like 7 days since the fight started.
Is the whole series just one fight or battle?
It is so far. So far, we're still on the first landing, and
Right.
it feels like it's been like 5 days, but it's probably been like a couple of weeks that they've been fighting. It's very high anxiety, but towards the middle, towards the end, it just gets kind of ridiculous, and I just had to drop it, even though the beginning was like ridiculous, but also so fun.
I've definitely heard of it. Why am I thinking of something else though? I'm really stuck on it. Was it like a game you would rent from Blockbuster or something?
You're really stuck on this.
Maybe.
Mega Man?
No.
Zoids?
Zoids! That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of Zoids.
Zoids sounds nothing like Terraformars.
Why did I think that?
How did you get there?
I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure myself.
Zoids is about robot animals that fight each other for fun.
Okay, I was
for
close.
competition.
I was close.
Also for war. Yeah, close enough. Robert, do you know what time it is?
Is it already time for Big News Morgan's breaking news?
No, it's not.
Oh, I didn't think
it's
so.
It's time for Robert's Ranking Corner.
What am I ranking?
Today, Rob will be ranking 5 waifus from One Piece without knowing which one comes next.
Okay, so what do I have to do?
So I will be giving you the name of an anime waifu or a One Piece waifu, and you will have to assign a number 1 through 5 for them.
Oh, that's fun. I like this. Okay.
So for your first waifu, Khalifa.
4.
4 for Khalifa. The next one, Nami.
I'm going 2 for Nami.
2 for Nami. Okay. The next one, Stussy.
Ooh, I like me some Stussy. Let's go 3.
3 for Stussy. And then the next one is Carrot.
1.
And 5, Korokoro.
Is that the mermaid? 5. Wow, I made a perfect list. That is impressive.
You nailed
I really
that.
nailed that.
You did a really good job. I was trying to get you to get Korokoro as number 1.
No, I nailed that. I'm
But-
impressed with myself.
Rob's final list, Korokoro, Khalifa, Stussy, Nami.
Perfect.
All right. Strong list.
That's how I would have done it anyway.
And that, everyone, was Rob's Ranking Corner.
Oh, I really enjoyed that. Let's do that more often.
I think I needed to add in a new segment after the karaoke segment wasn't really working out for us.
No, that was brutal.
All right, now we move into video games. Rob, I did something that I haven't done in a long time.
Played a video game?
I beat a video game.
What?
That
no,
too, but I beat
that's
it.
not true. That's not possible.
Yep.
There's no chance in hell you finished a video game.
I finished a video game.
No. Was it like one of those 20-minute games that don't really count? Like a Nickelodeon online game?
No,
Like
fuck
Flash
off.
game?
No, it was a full video game. It was like 15, 20 hours.
Oh, well, okay, that's a game.
It is called Bastion. It is the first game of Supergiant Games that made Hades. It's pretty good. It's solid. It's about this alternate universe where you're like one of the last surviving people, and you have to kind of discover the history of what happened to this world. It's kind of cool because you get to see a lot of the DNA of what went into Hades. Like they
Hades.
took this
Yeah.
futuristic setting and they used some of the game mechanics and used it for Hades, which I thought was cool. You could definitely see the bones there. I don't think it's like great. I don't think it was really hard enough, but the narration and the story were interesting enough to kind of keep you going, even though the difficulty wasn't that challenging.
But wasn't Hades like incredibly challenging? Wasn't that what you loved about Hades? Is that didn't it take you a while to like actually like, get through it, even though it's a quick game? It could be a quick game.
Yeah, because it was like you play for 30 minutes, you die, and then you're like, oh, I was so close. If I just didn't mess
Right.
up that one time. Yeah, that's what I loved about Hades. This one's like it has like short little rounds, but it's not really a roguelite. Um,
Yeah, in the
it's
same
more
way.
like a forward progressing normal story. But it was a fun time. I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I actually beat a video game for the first time in forever.
Look at you. I'm proud of you.
Rob, tell me about F-Zero 99.
It is a free downloadable game on Nintendo. It is the first F-Zero anything they've made in about 20
It's
years.
new.
It's yeah. Well, I mean, it's new. It is new. It uses like the look of the Super Nintendo game, but it's clearly like, built up brand new game. It's just there's 4 laps, there's 99 racers. You're trying to survive and make it to the end, and you know, they have a Grand Prix mode, which is a lot of fun, where like each race cuts out 20 racers no matter what, like whether you crash out or not. Like, because when you crash and your car explodes, that's it, you're out of the race.
Okay.
So it's just a very hectic game, and it's the first like 6 or 7 races I couldn't even finish, and I was getting really pissy. But it's one of those games where you just like you keep playing. I'll throw my Switch to the ground and be like, I'm done with this. I'm deleting the game, and then I open it like 30 seconds later,
It's like toxic
and I
crack
finally
energy.
won a race. I won my first race the other day.
Congratulations, Rob. So you've only won the race once.
I have, but like I've finished top 10 a bunch of times, and that's tough. It's a really difficult game because there's 99 other racers.
And you're playing against like 98 computers, or it's like 98 people around the world.
No, it's online.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
online game.
That's super cool. Okay,
Yeah,
that,
it's a
that
lot of fun.
that makes it sound more impressive when you come in top 10. It's not like you got beat by 9 computers.
Yeah, no, and it's tough to get good.
Are you gonna keep playing this one? Like it's like a mini in between when you can.
It's good. I mean, it's the perfect game for me with the baby because I can pick it up, play a race that takes 2 or 3 minutes, and then put it down when I need to put it down.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I will check that out next time we hang out. I have been playing Pokemon Sleep, which is
That's not a game.
a
Stop.
terrible little mobile game.
That is not a game.
It's addicting, dude.
You
Well,
are
first I
part
got
of the
it 'cause my
problem.
friends
No, you know what? I don't
recommended
even
it.
want to listen to you. You are part of the problem of the idiots that just download and support any garbage Pokemon throws out there. And I'm done with this.
I don't pay for
It
it.
doesn't matter. Like, you're still supporting this and showing them that this is a product you like.
It is a product I like. I'm very addicted right now. I have a Wartortle
I
and
hate
a Houndour, and yeah, it's a great time. But I think I need to stop playing so much because I know it's bad. Like it has all the same problems as Pokemon Unite. Like there's like 17 different currencies, and they try to min max you, and they give you little gifts to keep you going along. But it's a fun time. And originally I downloaded it to track my sleep because I have a terrible sleep schedule. But I think it's made it worse actually.
I don't think that's possible for your sleep schedule to be worse.
Well, I think it's possible now. I think Pokemon has evolved my sleep to become even more gremlin like.
Have you digivolved?
I have evolved my Squirtle into a Wartortle at this point, but I'm trying to make a team of a Ampharos, a Houndoom, and an Espeon, and I'm trying to figure out my 5th member.
What do you even do with a team? What's the point of forming a team? You know what? No, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Don't tell me. Let's just move on to the best segment of this show.
Robert, do you know what time it is?
It is time for Big News Morgan's breaking news, isn't it?
It's time.
Finally.
For Big News Morgan's breaking news. Robert, we've been really bad at doing news recently, and there's one piece of news, and it is that Paper Mario 1000 Year Door is coming to the Switch.
Literally my favorite game of all time, and I am so excited to play it again. It looks like they did nothing to it other than make it look even better. They gave it like a nice HD coat of paint.
It looks amazing, and it looks more papery. Like, it looks like more cardboard and papery, which I really love.
I think they nailed the look. I didn't really want anything updated other than it. I don't know. It has this like cardboard look to it that looks just
I like that.
stunningly perfect. It's how I would have imagined this game existing 20 years from 2004 when I first played it.
It's like you could like make actual 3D models of this game now if you want to do like a little paper stage play. I thought it looked great.
I will 100% be getting this, obviously.
Oh, you have to pay for it? It's not coming out on the
No, this is a remake that's going to release as a $60 game.
Oh shit, I thought this was going to be like part of the Nintendo package when you have membership.
No, this is a full-on game.
I guess it's good that they put in all this love to make it look better, but I did not realize that this is like going to be a $60 purchase. Maybe I'll get this.
I mean, I'm still going to get it. I want to show Nintendo that this is the Paper Mario I want, not origami garbage.
I would love for them to just make a new good game. I don't think it's that complicated.
Well, they refuse to make an RPG series for some reason. They just strip away everything that made Paper Mario Paper Mario.
Just make 7 characters of different races in the game that you collect, and then you fight Bowser. Like it's not rocket science.
But they won't do it, Justin. That's why you have to buy this game.
We will buy this game. Robert, I think our third member of our radio crew is getting tired. I think we might have to call it.
She's getting real fussy here, Justin.
She's getting real fussy. I think she wants to listen to a better podcast.
I wouldn't blame her, honestly.
I don't either. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next time.